Hey, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and back with a new update video. And yeah, like you can see here, it's a pretty big stack right here that I want to show you. And I also picked up two VHS movies as well. So no time for talk. Let's begin immediately. First up, we got the movie with. Well, wait a minute. Seems like it's a little bit. Something that's broken in here. Shit, the same, the disc is fine, so might have to buy a new cover, but now buy a new case. Shit, the same, now I'm just talking bullshit. But the first movie is Ruckus, and this has never been released on DVD in Sweden, so I picked up this German release of it. And this might be the movie that inspired the first Rambo movie, because they were very similar about a Vietnam vet coming home, and yeah, it's kind of the same story, at least in the first like 30-45 minutes, if you say so. Yeah, it's a really great movie, highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, check it out, Ruckus. And then we have another great 80s movie, and I knew from the beginning when I picked this one up that I would love this movie, and I actually did. The movie is Trashin'. I know this is called something else, but I can't remember the title right now. But if you like movies like Rad, if you've seen the movie Rad, it's about BMX kind of thing, then you will like Trashin' as well. But Rad is extremely hard to come across. I don't think it's ever been released on DVD. It's just DVD-R and some things like that. So I'm really hoping that they will release Rad as well. But not to this movie. This was really great. So if you liked the Rad, you would definitely like Trashin'. Great soundtrack as well, and yeah, typical 80s movie. Check it out. And then we have a movie with Matt Dillon and Andrew McCarthy. I believe this is a pretty old movie. I think it was from 2000. No, what am I saying here? 1988, and the movie is Kansas. And I think this movie is very underrated as well. Doesn't seem to be talked about very often. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, but this was great. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Highly recommended as well. And then we have another awesome 80s movie, and this is a comedy, also with a great soundtrack and great acting, and overall, yeah, awesome. And the movie is Summer School. Great stuff. I don't need to say anything else, because almost all of these movies I've actually enjoyed, so yeah, Summer School, great stuff. Then we have another 80s comedy, and the movie is Once Bitten. It was okay, not the best in the world, but it was good for what it was, so yeah, Once Bitten. And then we have the sequel to one of my new favorite movies, and the movie is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. This was not as good as the first one, but it's still a great and fun movie. Bill and Ted is always likable, so yeah, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And then we have a movie which I picked up basically because of one or two actors in this. Sean Pertwee, who was in Dog Soldiers, and Ewan McGregor, and the movie is Blue Juice. It was a feel-good movie, really good, mixed with like drama, comedy, some things like that. Entertaining as hell, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Blue Juice. And then we have another. This is a Larry Clark movie. This was the first movie he directed, and I know some people say that Larry Clark is like a pedophile and accusing him of that, so but I don't really understand why. But the movie itself is great. Unfortunately, two of the actors in this, or maybe it was three actors, it was 2 or 3 actors that like committed suicide or something like that, just like 5 or 6 years after this had been released. But the movie is Kids, And to be honest, I didn't really know what to think about this movie. I mean, I didn't hate it and I didn't love it. It was like I didn't know if I hated it or if I loved it, so need to rewatch it once again. But great stuff anyway, kids. Great to have in your collection at least. And then we have a movie which I really need to rewatch. I watched this when it was pretty new. I think it came in 2006 or 2007. I'm pretty sure, but I haven't seen it since. But I finally picked it up, and the movie is Tristan and Isolde. I think this is directed by the same guy who made Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, great movie overall. Need to rewatch it. So yeah, Tristan and Isolde. Then we have a movie which I've heard is supposed to be fucked up or whatever. I don't really know in which kind of way. I mean, a movie can always be disturbing or disgusting in some particular things or ways. But the movie is Passez-moi. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but yeah, heard some nasty things about it, so I picked it up, and it was pretty cheap as well. So yeah, Passez-moi. And then we have another really weird, very weird movie, and this is the first movie in like a trilogy. I don't really know where to get the other two parts, because I think they are out of print, both of them. And the movie is directed by the same guy who made Philosophy of a Knife. I haven't seen that movie because it's just like 5 hours or stuff like that. I've seen some videos and clips from it, but the movie I'm talking about right here is Nails. And it's in the original title is Gvotsky or something like that, some weird Russian thing or whatever. This was weird as hell, but still very entertaining because of the editing. I really liked the editing in this, so yeah, nice experimental movie. So yeah, Nails. Then we have a movie which I don't really understand why so many people hate. I thought it was a really good mystery kind of movie. Had a really great atmosphere to it, and the movie is Dario Argento's Trauma. The acting might not be the best, but the overall atmosphere and all of that, it was just great in my opinion. So yeah, Trauma. Then we have a documentary, a pretty short documentary or whatever you want to call it. It's just 24 minutes, but it is Good Taste Made Bad Taste, and this was very interesting to see how they made all of the movie overall, and it was like interviews and so on, so about the movie, and yeah, really great documentary. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Good Taste Made Bad Taste. Made Bad Taste. Can't speak today. Then we have a movie which I've been on the hunt for such a long time. I have not seen it yet, but it looks absolutely awesome, and the movie is Junk. With a movie like that, with the title and everything, Junk, that must be good. Yeah, don't really need anything else to say because I haven't seen it, so yeah, Junk. Then we have a movie which I think has been pretty hard to come across, but I picked it up for such a cheap price, and it's the original When a Stranger Calls. I have seen the remake. I thought the remake was okay, not the best in the world, but really looking forward to see this movie, the original, yeah, When a Stranger Calls. Then we have a movie which I was so goddamn disappointed on. I was expecting like something really disturbing and so on, but it just turned out to be a stupid mess. I mean, the editing was good in some parts, but it was just the dialogue. It was like 95% of the so-called dialogue was just screaming and screaming and screaming, and the rest 5% was useless bullshit. But didn't make any sense at all. But the movie is The Bunny Game. It was such a mess. It was so stupid and annoying, and I think it was more annoying than disturbing. I didn't think it was disturbing at all. It was just annoying and a pain in the ass to watch. Not because I was offended by it, but it was just annoying as hell. So yeah, The Bunny Game. And then we have some something that I hoped for is going to be disturbing, because this is like true. I think this is true footage. I think it's some sort of traces of death, but this is a Japanese one, and I think this is pretty hard to come across, because where I picked it up they used to have like one copy left in stock, and it was not really that cheap either. But the movie is, or the movies, or whatever you want to call it, junk films. I have never heard basically anyone talk about this, but I'm really looking forward to see it, if it's like in the same sort of feeling as Traces of Death. So yeah, junk films. And then I finally picked up the third part in the August Underground trilogy, Penance, Factory Seal and everything. Still have to get the first one. It was such a long time since I saw this one and the first one, so yeah, Penance. Cool stuff. And then we have the only reason why I picked up this triple feature was because of Murder Weapon, because I knew that Eric Freeman from Silent Night, Deadly Night was in this movie, because I looked it up and everything, and I just wanted to see that movie. But the movies are, this is triple pack with Linnea Quigley. The movies are Deadly Embrace, Nightmare Sisters and Murder Weapon. I've just seen Deadly Embrace, or whatever I want to pronounce it. I think it was pretty crappy, that movie. I mean, all three of these movies I think are pretty crappy in general, but I just wanted to see Murder Weapon because I knew that Eric Freeman was supposed to be in that movie, so yeah, that was the reason why I picked this up from the beginning. So yeah, a triple feature. And then we have the two VHS movies, and it's two VHS movies with Linda Blair. The movies are, the first one is Night Force. This is a Dutch VHS tape. I don't care for the picture quality, as long as you can hear what they are saying and you at least understand what's going on. I don't mind that much about the picture quality in general, but this movie was really entertaining. I think this is very underrated. Very underrated. I mean, it's underrated as hell in my opinion. I don't think it's supposed to be taken seriously, but yeah, I straight away loved this movie. So yeah, I can really recommend this if you happen to find it, because this has never been released on DVD, what I know. But yeah, Night Force, great stuff. Then we have another Linda Blair movie. And this is a so-called Women in Prison movie, I believe they're called. The movie is Chained Heat. This is with what's his name? The same guy who was in Savage Streets, John Vernon, I believe his name is. And this started pretty boring and pretty dull, but it just got better and better. So yeah, a really entertaining and enjoying movie as well. I knew that this has been released on DVD on an Anchor Bay triple pack or whatever, but from what I've heard, that edition is supposed to be cut, and I don't want cut movies, I want them uncut. So I think this is the uncut. I think this is the uncut version, this one on the VHS. So yeah, I don't care about the picture quality as long as I got the uncut movie themselves. So yeah, Chained Heat, great stuff as well. Great stuff, great movie as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and didn't get bored. And now I need to shut up because I've almost talked for about 15 minutes right now. So see you next time. Bye bye.